Hi, everyone, and welcome once again to Southside Don's Rebels This Week. As always, a very busy and exciting episode on tap for you. 3 games worth of highlights. We chat with the one and only Cam Moon. We've got some footage from Wild TV. Yeah, the Minnesota Wild sent us some stuff on Matthew Dumba. And as always, we go around the Western Hockey League. But let's kick things off by checking in with the Rebels' 3-game road trip. That started last Wednesday night in Swift Current. Broncos strike first as the red-hot Adam Lowry walks out and fires one past Patrick Bartasak for his 28th of the year, 1-0 Swift Current. Rebels tie it when a seemingly harmless shot from Matt Bellerive eludes A2 Lorakainen. Bellerive's 10th of the year makes it 1-1. The old saying holds true. It's never a bad idea to shoot. Reese Scarlett and Lowry come looking to restore Speedy Creek's 1-goal lead, but Bartasak shuts the door on that one. Bartasak stops the long shot from the point, but the Rebels can't clear the zone. Richard Niedemel finds it. His point shot gets through traffic and past Bartasak. That's Niedemel's first of the season. 2-1 Broncos. Reese Scarlett makes a nice play to feed Graham Black streaking up right wing. His shot is stopped by Bartasak, but Scarlett finds the rebound and finds the back of the net for his 6th. The New Jersey Devils draft pick makes it 3-1. Niedemel with another point shot is blocked by Bellerive, who goes in on a breakaway. Tries the backhand deke, but can't convert. Rebels get another glorious chance to cut their deficit to 1, but Lorakainen goes grand theft larceny on Turner Elson. Matt Dumba's shot is stopped, setting the stage for quite a scramble in front of the Broncos net. Volek gets a couple of shots at it, but can't score. But Bellerive finds it and tucks home his 2nd of the game, 11th of the year. Rebels trail 3-2. In the third period, Calgary Flames prospect Coda Gordon has all day to shoot. He's stopped, but Jay Merkley, in his first game with the Ponies since coming from Lethbridge, scores his 15th of the year on a power play. 4-2 Swift Current. Rebels pull Bartasak for the extra attacker. Lorakainen makes the save at one end. Colby Cave then finds the loose puck and finds room to shoot on the empty net. He scores, and the Broncos gallop to a 5-2 win. The return of Patrick Bartasak and 2 goals from Matt Bellerive weren't enough as the Rebels lose the opening game of their roadie. So after that game Wednesday night, the trading deadline was Thursday. Friday night, the Rebels were in primetime action visiting the Saskatoon Blades. Dominic Volek starts the rush for Red Deer. His long shot stopped by Andrei Makarov. Hamilton can't score on the rebound, but Volek follows up for his 4th of the season, 1-0 Rebels. Blades come on the attack. Lucas Sutter does find a hole through Bartasak, but Patrick gets just enough to make the puck go off the post. That was close. Turner Elson bursts in all alone, but shoots it high and wide. Blades with pressure in the second period. Graham Craig tries a long shot, but Bartasak handles that one easily. Rebels force a turnover, and it's Reese Dino who takes full advantage. He snaps home his 11th of the season, giving the Rebels a 2-0 lead. Not long after that, Elson, with one of his patented charges toward the net, slides the puck through Makarov for his 15th of the season, 3-0 Rebels. Saskatoon gets on the board before the end of the second. Graham Craig blasts a rocket from the blue line and beats Bartasak for his 1st of the season, first as a Blade, 3-1 Rebels through 40. Cue the Patrick Bartasak show. He opens that show with a save on a tip shot from Brendan Walker. In the third period, puck comes over to Josh Nichols, but Patrick bars the door with an amazing glove save. No matter what angle you see it from, simply superb. Patrick does it again, this time robbing Shane McColgan from in tight. Then Matt Stransky gets a front row ticket to the Bartasak show. Incredible stop by Patrick as the Rebels hang on for a 3-1 win. 17 saves by Bartasak in the third period were the difference as the Rebels beat the Blades for the 3rd time this season. So after that exciting win in Saskatoon, the Rebels wrapped up their 3 games and 4 nights road trip by visiting Prince Albert. Raiders on the power play. Josh Morrissey, wide open backdoor, fires home his 11th of the year, 1-0 PA. Rebels tie it up late in the first. Turner Elson gets the puck along the boards and fires. Maxwell tips it home for his 5th. Number 19 scores at 19-19 of the first period. It's a 1-1 game. Big hit by Raiders forward Leon Draisaitl as he lays the boom on Maxwell. Raiders take the lead when the puck finds its way to Reed Gardner. He snaps home his 7th past Bartasak, 2-1 Prince Albert. World Junior team member Mark McNeil gives PA a 2-goal lead when he leans into this Iginla-like wrister. 3-1 Raiders on McNeil's 15th. It was nearly 4-1 if not for Bartosak making this great save on Jonas Knudsen. Bartosak once again doing his part to give his team a chance. Here making a save on a tip shot from Draisaitl. A pair of the Rebels youngsters have a tough time in the Raiders zone as Scott Fazer gets knocked down, then landed on by Vuki Mapafu. Knudsen with another point-blank scoring chance, and again he is foiled by Bartosak. Joel Hamilton finds himself with another great scoring chance, but Siemens gets his arm up in time for the save. On to the third period. Turner Elson's long shot handled easily by Siemens. Kevin Pochuk pinches deep. He finds Dominic Volek wide open out front. Volek nets his 5th of the season, cutting the Raiders' lead to 3-2. Josh Morrissey gets a great chance to score the insurance marker for the Raiders, but as per usual, Bartosak is there. Dying seconds of the third period, Rebels trying desperately to tie it, and it's Hayden Fleury finding the puck, scoring with less than a second on the clock. Fleury's third ties it 3-3. This one was going to overtime. In the extra frame, Morrissey gets the puck and unleashes a cannon that beats Bartosak and goes in off the bar. The Rebels settle for a single point. Raiders win 4-3. Dominic Volek continues to be as advertised when it comes to scoring. He's got 5 goals in just 10 games with the club. Well, you saw the highlights. Now here's what some of the players had to say about the road trip.
Swift Current, we had a rough game. We didn't do our best, but we had a good game in Saskatoon and then a rough 2 periods in PA, and then we got it together in the third and started battling. We need our work ethic all the time, and every 60-minute game we need that, and we didn't do it all the trip. But we got 3 out of 6 points. It's a good thing. We could have got better, but what can you do, right?
Obviously, we started off in Swift Current. It was we didn't get the win there, but I thought at times we played well, and then probably well enough to win the game. But we kind of shot ourselves in the foot a bit, and that happens, I guess. So obviously, went on to Saskatoon, and we played a really, really good game in Saskatoon, and went into PA the next night. And I mean, we got the point out of that game, and that was huge for us to score with a second left or whatever it was there. And turn the road trip into a 500 road trip. So I mean, you can do that on the road. I can't have too many complaints with that, I guess.
You know, the Saskatoon game, I thought that we played a real hard game and a structured game, which was great, and in a building that was loud and we kind of rose to the occasion there, which was great. We kept the game simple and thought we made some adjustments that needed to be done, and our players followed through with it, which was great to see. And the Prince Albert game, probably waited till the third period to play our best, but we put the pedal down and got a point out of that one. The Swift Current game came out a little flat, and they kind of took it to us a little bit. We didn't generate a ton of scoring opportunities, but we had some good quality looks. So 3 out of 6 points on the road trip, I guess, is okay. We would like to have gotten more, obviously, in a tight division race, but 3 out of 6, I think that for the road trip and whatnot, that we'll take that.
While Turner Elson continues to lead the Rebels in both goals and points, Joel Hamilton, the runaway leader with assists, a team-leading 24. Edmonton and Calgary have pulled away from the pack and are neck and neck for the Central Division lead. The Rebels are planted in third, but are getting a push from Lethbridge. Here's what's on tap this week. The Rebels return to home ice Thursday night versus the Edmonton Oil Kings. Saturday, Prince George visits for Cougar night at the NMAX Centrium. And on Sunday, the boys visit Medicine Hat. Each game can be heard on 106.7 The Drive. Coming up after the break, we take a look at the WHL trade deadline, introduce you to 2 more new Rebels, Matthew Dumba's in Minnesota, and we're joined by the one and only Cam Moon.
Miette a 2-on-1 with Johnson. Miette stops. Over to Johnson.
Hey Red Deer Rebels fans, have we got the show for you? Southside Dodge Rebels This Week is your #1 source for everything Rebels.
Nice left-hand save.
Highlights, interviews, stats, and exclusive behind-the-scenes features brought to you each and every week by those who have their eye on the Rebels all season long.
He's back to the middle.
Southside Dodge Rebels This Week, weeknights on Shaw TV. Welcome back to the show. Well, as we touched on earlier in this episode, the Western Hockey League trade deadline was this past Thursday. And to the surprise of no one, the Red Deer Rebels pretty much stood pat. No big deals on Thursday, although they did try to acquire one player. We'll talk about that in a moment. There were 2 new faces added to the Rebels roster last week. Hunter Smith is a forward that the Rebels picked up from his hometown in Carlisle, Saskatchewan. Now, he was a former draft pick of the Brandon Wheat Kings, but got cut this past fall. He was actually playing senior hockey in Carlisle when he got the call.
Very excited. I got an awesome opportunity to come here and play like a tryout basis, and they like me, so things are going great, and I'm excited to be here. Kind of surprised, I would say. I mean, I was just planning on going to school next year, but they gave me a call, gave me an opportunity, so pumped to be here.
Now, a more intriguing pickup by the Rebels was that of Jordan DePape. The 20-year-old forward has been recovering from shoulder surgery. He was released earlier this year by the Kamloops Blazers. Now, he's not expected to be in the lineup until March at the earliest, but the coaching staff here with the Rebels feel he has a ton of potential. A pair of former Rebels found themselves on the move on deadline day. Colton Mayer was sent from Regina to Calgary, while Adam Cambites was sent from Saskatoon to Seattle. It was a tough move for Cambites as he became the odd man out once the Blades brought in Michael Furland from Brandon. Now, as soon as that Furland deal went down, Rebels fans wondered about the possibility of a Cambites return to Red Deer. Well, as Brent Sutter mentioned in the Red Deer Advocate the other day, he did indeed inquire about Cambites' services, but was unable to seal the deal. We'll have more on the trade deadline coming up in a few moments with Mooner. Now, he wasn't a brand new face, but Patrick Bartosak was definitely welcomed back with open arms after his time at the World Juniors. Patrick was outstanding for his native Czech Republic, going 4-1 in 5 appearances while helping his team to a 5th place finish, just one back of Canada, as it turned out.
It was awesome time, and it was fun. My goalie coach told me I'm not going to play the first game against Sweden. I just, I was kind of disappointed because I expected to play there, but I got a chance against Finland the second game, and I played solid game. We won 3-1, and I started every game since then.
No doubt hockey fans everywhere are thrilled that the NHL lockout, that god-awful lockout, is finally over. No doubt Matthew Dumba excited to be at his first ever NHL training camp in Minnesota. Now, just to give you an idea of how that actually took place, he played Friday night, Dumba did, for the Rebels in Saskatoon, got on a red-eye flight, flew to Minnesota, got off the plane, talked with the coaches, and a few minutes later he was on the ice. No rest for the wicked. Our thanks to Wild TV for sending us this interview as they recently caught up with Matthew Dumba.
Matt, when did you get in today?
This morning, bright and early.
And you played last night. How'd that game go? What was the turnaround like to come back to get here to the XL Energy Center today?
It was good. It was good to be there for the guys and battle compete, and we won 3-1, so that's always a positive. And then just jumped on the flight early this morning in Saskatoon, and it was direct flight here to Minneapolis. So it's kind of been a long day so far, but it's fun. It's really exciting, and I'm happy to be here.
Long day capped off with a skate here. What was your feeling going into today's skate?
Kind of nervous, but I was just trying to soak it all in and kind of relax and talk with the guys out there and just take it all in and just get this first skate kind of out of the way and just work hard and compete.
It's got to be kind of a crazy situation for you to come in here. Probably a lot of guys, you're so young that you probably looked up to and watched throughout, and now you find yourself on the ice with them midway through in January for training camp. Like, what's going through your head right now?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Last 5-6 years, I watched a lot of NHL games and looked up to these guys. So now to be on the ice with them, I kind of got to stop myself from kind of being in awe or catch myself watching them and not focusing on myself. But I know it's all good. It's nice to be out there with them, and they're all great guys. They all took the time to talk to me, so it is really nice.
What's your mindset going in? Because you know that with this shortened training camp, you're not going to get much of a look. Are you going in with a mindset that you're going to make this team out of camp?
I don't know if that's my mindset, but I'd love to. That'd be great, but I know it's a 48-game season, and you got to go with a veteran team, and it's crunch time right from the get-go. It's the second half of the season, and teams got to be prepared. So for an 18-year-old to come in and do that, I don't know, but this week or so I have at camp here, I'm going to take as much in as I can and just just learn from the veteran guys and really just battle and compete and just try to be a sponge in the sense of just gaining as much knowledge as I can.
Well, we needed a good-looking guy on the show, so we brought back Mooner. Got to spice things up a little bit. Don't shake your head like that.
No.
All right, let's get to business here. The WHL trade deadline was just a few days ago. Looking across league-wide, anything surprise you?
Well, nothing that was a real big surprise. I didn't really expect the Spokane Chiefs to go out and try and load up offensively, as they did. Alessio Bertaggia coming over from the Brandon Wheat Kings. He helps them out offensively. I didn't expect them to do that. I expected the Saskatoon Blades to make a splash. They most certainly did that. They brought in 3 guys. Michael Furlan, probably the top name of the group, Calgary Flame draft pick, came over from the Brandon Wheat Kings. Colin Valcourt, who's a Red Deer guy, 19-year-old forward from the Spokane Chiefs. And Eric Benoit, who's a 19-year-old forward from the Kootenay Ice. So I like what the Blades did. They added experience, they added some scoring, and they added some grit for sure. The Edmonton Oil Kings, not on trade deadline day, but a little bit before, they added a 20-year-old. We figured they would. They only had 2. They bring in Trevor Cheek from the Vancouver Giants, and they add some scoring and some toughness up front. So no real big surprises, I guess, on WHL trading deadline day, except I thought Bertaggia might go somewhere. I didn't expect him to go to Spokane.
And in terms of the other Central Division teams, the Calgary Hitmen bringing Colton Mayer. He'll be a nice second, probably third-line guy there. Lethbridge gets rid of Merkley. They do a little bit of tweaking in terms of the division. Not a whole lot of change, like you say.
No, not a ton. And I guess when you talk about surprise, maybe that Merkley deal is a bit of a shock. Merkley's a first-round pick from a few years back, a 17-year-old forward that has pretty good skill. And Lethbridge, who has a younger team, moved him out for Josh Durko and a draft pick. Durko's a 19-year-old forward, plays very physical, a strong guy. That's not exactly the move I expected Lethbridge to make there, in that they have a young team already, and Merkley is a pretty skilled guy. So I don't know what the whole deal is there. I know the guys in Swift Current, as we were most recently there, were pretty happy to get Merkley because he's a guy that fits in with what they're doing. As far as age goes, they're going to have him for at least 2 more years after this one, maybe 3, and it's been a pretty good guy for them. So that one came as a little bit of a surprise.
And as we saw when we were there, or when you were there in Swift Current, instant dividends for the Broncos as Merkley had an impact. So nice.
Well, yeah, he's proven to be pretty good for them right off the hop, and that shouldn't even be a shock. I mean, this guy is a guy that can score some goals, and a guy that, like I said, first-round pick from a few years back. You expect him to help out offensively. He's done that already.
In terms of the Rebels, they were quiet on the trade deadline, but we were more or less expecting that because, as we've seen throughout the year, Brent's done most of his wheeling and dealing already.
Yeah, that's true. This is a team that, if you look at it, top to bottom, there's not a lot of older players here. Just the 2 20s. The team adds a 20 at trading deadline day. Jordan DePape, who won't be here until sometime in March, but has played in the league the previous 3 years with Kamloops and Brandon. But the way the team is set up, most of this team returns next year. There aren't a lot of 19-year-old players on the club. So the opportunity to get just about the entire roster back is pretty strong. So I don't think Brent was looking to move out any younger players for sure, to load up with older guys. So it's exactly what I guess you could figure going in. That's probably going to go with the roster they got. I know the Rebels would have liked to added Adam Kambites at the trading deadline as he became available out of Saskatoon, but they chose to send him to Seattle instead. But that just would have been a draft pick going the other way anyway, as it was in that deal. So I no real big surprise, but I like the roster this team has. I think you got a good roster. They've shown that they can compete against anybody in the league, and this team continues to develop and get better.
A bit of an up and down time of late. A win here, a couple losses there, but overall this team, we really don't know what their full potential is yet.
No, that's true. And I think during the break, or after the break, without Patrick Bartosak at the World Juniors, without Connor Bleakley and Hayden Fleury, who are at the U17s, you take those guys out of the lineup, it makes a hit. And then Brady Gaudet was out for an injury for a bit there too. You take those guys out, and you can't expect to have them at the same level, especially with a younger squad, when you go up against the top teams. And as a result, there was some troubles getting some wins through there, but it's to be expected. This team has proven over the season that they can compete, and they're right in the mix. It's going to make a great sprint to the finish here in the Eastern Conference for the club, who's most definitely looking to get into the top 8. But I mean, they have a very realistic shot at home ice in the first round of the playoffs if they can finish in the top 4. So I think that's the goal right now.
Yeah, Calgary and Edmonton starting to pull away in the division like we all kind of thought before the season started. But Red Deer holding their own at third. The one guy I really like, he continues to impress each night out. He's got 5 goals in 10 games. This Dominic Volek has been an outstanding addition.
Oh, he most certainly has. He's a skilled player, and it was expected that he could probably come in here and show that he can play in the top 3 lines and help out with his team offensively. He's definitely done that. After the first couple of games of just getting used to North American hockey again, he'd been playing in Europe prior to coming back after the Christmas break. Yeah, he's helped out, and he's an 18-year-old guy, although just turned 19, but in hockey lingo, he's an 18-year-old guy. Will be back next year and has really fit in well. A guy that I think NHL scouts should keep an eye on. I know he went through the draft last season and went unpicked, but there's quite a bit there to work with, and he's really fit in well with the group.
And you already touched on it, quite a bit there to work with when it comes to this entire roster. The guys are getting healthy. They're starting to get some good chemistry here. Exciting possibilities down the stretch.
Yeah, they really are. And there's not a lot of games left against the Calgary Hitmen and the Edmonton Oil Kings. So the Rebels don't have a stack of games coming up where they got to play against those 2 heavy hitters. They've got 1 against Prince Albert down the stretch, a couple against Edmonton, and I think just 1 with Calgary left. So there isn't much against those real top teams. So an opportunity, as long as they show up and play real hard, and even if you do, nothing's a given, as every team comes to compete, that they have an opportunity, I think, to maybe finish in that 4th spot if things go well and they work hard. But it's going to be a great sprint because this team's pretty hungry for a playoff spot. You can tell that all these guys want to have some success. They really enjoyed that 9-game winning streak they had at one point this year and are trying to string some together. But it's no different. Every year, it seems, in this league, the second half, it's so much harder to get wins. Every team gets a little bit better. And then once you get by that trading deadline, the top-end teams get a little bit better because they load up. And maybe some of those bottom-end teams give up some so they drop a little bit. But it's going to be tough. But I think this team has the potential to finish in the 4th spot.
And you're doing well.
Oh, sure.
You look good. You sound good.
I feel good.
You got to hang out with some Blue Jays in Saskatoon.
Oh, how cool was that? They had 4 Blue Jays at the game in Saskatoon. Great crowd at that game. And Anthony Ghost came on the Rebels radio with us, live, no less, and talked some baseball for a while. I most certainly enjoyed that. Colby Rasmus was there as well, JP Arancibia, Drew Hutchinson. It was a nice crowd, nice crew, and an all-around great evening. Rebels win that night. There was absolutely no downside to it.
Friday night fun in Saskatoon.
Yep, better believe it.
Thanks, Mooner.
Okay, thank you.
The one and only Cam Moon. Now it's time to check in with Jack at 360 Fitness for Train Like a Rebel.
Hi everyone, Jack here from 360 Fitness Personal Training, and what we're chatting about today is whether to ice or whether to heat. This is a question we get a lot from our clients, especially after big workouts or their first game back or anything else like that, and they're looking to have better recovery. And they ask, do I heat now? Do I ice now? And the good answer is both, okay? So both have their merits, and when you use ice and heat together on your sore muscles, it works a lot better in tandem. So what ice does is reduces inflammation, and what heat does is it increases good blood flow to that region to help loosen it up. So when you use both in tandem, you get the results of both. What we tell our clients to do is put 15 minutes of ice, 5 minutes off, 15 minutes of heat, 5 minutes off, and repeat. You'll get the benefits of both that way.
Coming up after the break, we check in with the Skill Zone and we go around the Western Hockey League. Southside Dodge Rebels This Week is presented by Southside Dodge Chrysler Jeep in Red Deer, Alberta. Welcome back to the show. Time now for another installment of the Skill Zone. Here's Jim from Complete Athlete in Sylvan Lake.
Hey, it's Jim from Complete Athlete. This week we're going to focus on the skating treadmill and goalies. Very important for goalies to be able to skate, to come out and cut off the angles and challenge. A goalie's skating ability is of great importance. Having the ability to challenge a shooter involves C-cutting out to cut down the angle of the puck carrier. As you'll see on the treadmill, Brett is gliding back in a goalie stance, then C-cutting to put pressure on the foreslot of the blade. It is important to keep the hips down to maintain balance and power. Quickness and agility are very important for all goalies. Brett is demonstrating the butterfly while on the skating treadmill. This is directly transferable to a game, as goalies must go down and up numerous times in the game in order to make a save or move laterally. More information on goalie drills or the skating treadmill can be found at completeathlete.ca.
Time now for news and notes from around the Western Hockey League. The Everett Silvertips recently parted ways with head coach Mark Ferner and assistant coach Chris Hartsburg. General Manager Gary Davidson takes over as head coach on an interim basis, with Mitch Love continuing in his assistant coaching role. The Silvertips have struggled this season with just 17 wins through their first 44 games. 2-game mini packs for the 2013 MasterCard Memorial Cup in Saskatoon go on sale this week. The packages feature games on back-to-back nights and allow fans to see all 4 teams, including the host Blades. Preliminary round packs start at $59 each. The playoff packs are $89 each. Visit their website, mastercardmemorialcup.ca, to find out more. Well, that does it for this week's show. Thanks, as always, for joining us. Check us out anytime on our website, rebelsthisweek.com, and hit us up on Twitter at rebelsthisweek. We'll see you next time.
Up in the face, stolen by Cooper, sends it across, back in front, nice goal, beautiful goal by the Wheat Kings.
To Lauren Sell, backhander Pilon, oh what a save by Pollock, robbing Ryan Pilon.
Trying a Hail Mary pass, and a perfect pass now for Jared Fontaine, cutting wide, score! Binder, he scores! Nice show, Paul down the right side, Dumba short, oh the save by Pollock. Puts it back in front of the net, it goes off of Pollock. Then Dumba steals it, he's got it in the slot. Dumba short, Sanders! Oh! What a save! Moran, double Franco trying to go top. Don't do anything with it. Bill scoops it up next. Bill shifty gets around a falling defender to the net. Gonna get a shot. Scores! What a beauty there! A highlight reel goal.
There's King at left boards. Dumps it behind the Seattle goal. Walchuk trying to center the puck from behind the net. Deeper defenseman Forsberg falls down. Walchuk in front. Shot. He scores!
With Lang and Panakin over the line, they come. Hurley trying to center it. A blocked out, got the puck back though. Brendan Hurley out of the left wing corner to the front of the net, back and score! Roll the highlight reel. A thing of beauty from Brendan Hurley.
Hodges with the offensive zone face off, and he drives it in. It's loose, and he gets another whack at it. Montgomery comes up big. It stays 2-2. Down the right side. Pretty move. Score! Oh, baby! Reed Duke with a beauty! To the Prince Albert line. He'll dish to Pearson, take the return pass, but centered for Shinkarik, and he scores! As Unicorn is coming up over the shot, he scores!